Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now, we've got, again, news from MumFest that organizers have decided to cancel the event due to the inclement weather that is expected over the weekend. They say they made the difficult decision to cancel this year's celebrations due to the forecasted rain and wind. The event was set to open to the public tomorrow at 10 a.m. Now, MumFest will not be rescheduled for this year. Now, in a statement they released on Facebook earlier today, they said, quote, "We sincerely hope to hold this event despite a daunting forecast, or we had sincerely hoped to hold this event during a daunting forecast, as it has been so beloved and well supported by the community for more than 40 years. Unfortunately, the weather is not cooperating with our desires, and we would never jeopardize anyone's safety. Swiss Bear feels that this is the right thing to do, and please know that we are just as disappointed as you are," end quote. Now, of course, you can't stop the music, though, as MumFest organizers say they will still have live performances. Quote, "The musical acts we booked and paid for will be performing indoors at several of our downtown partners' venues throughout the weekend. A complete schedule of performances and locations will be announced today." And of course, this morning, Union Point Park, as you can see on your screen where many vendors were going to set up, was flooded and closed off. We also want to highlight news out of Tennessee, where first responders are searching for survivors after an explosion at a plant. NBC's George Solis has more.
This is a rapidly evolving and developing situation here in Tennessee. It's happened at an explosives manufacturer about 60 miles southwest of Nashville, happening at about 7:45 local time. Officials holding a briefing earlier this morning saying this explosion was a very devastating blast that encompassed one whole building. Now, officials there on the ground very careful about the number of people that are deceased, maybe that are missing, as they're saying this is still an ongoing effort to notify families and possibly find anyone that may still be in this rubble. Now, outside of just the local authorities there that have descended on the scene, you also have federal investigators, including the ATF, to begin trying to assess what may have caused this explosion so early this morning. There are also reports that just outside of the blast radius, some people actually reported feeling their homes shake this morning when this all occurred. And some also important context: in 2014 at this plant known as Accurate Energetic Systems, 2014 there was a plant explosion there that may have injured 3 people and killed 1 person. So again, some context to all of this, but again, this situation very fluid, still ongoing. Again, the number of dead and unaccounted for still unclear. Officials say they will be providing more updates throughout the day to provide some clarity on this investigation. Back to you.
Thank you very much, George, for that report. We now want to turn to your weather forecast, as we've got our eyes again on that area of low pressure just off the coast of Florida right now, spitting out quite a bit of rain. We now have multiple flash flood warnings across the eastern coast of Florida, from Daytona Beach southward, as that low pressure system continues to develop. You can kind of start to see that swirling pattern there of rain showers, and then just a whole bunch of rain up to its north. Now, that big swath of rain again is going to be pushed through eastern North Carolina coming up this weekend. We do have a few light showers around the east along the Outer Banks right now. Some of those showers have tried to work their way over eastern portions of eastern North Carolina, but most of us today have been cloudy, breezy, but dry. That changes tomorrow morning. When we wake up, there will likely be a rain shower spread across the Crystal Coast, and those rain showers will continue to march northward through the day. I would say reaching the 264 corridor as we head towards lunchtime, and then from there the heavier rain really starts to show up through your Saturday evening to Saturday night. There is certainly still the potential for some coastal flooding, but we do have some good news in that the winds on Sunday not looking nearly as intense, as the low doesn't look like it's going to be getting quite as strong. Models had previously suggested that the system would deepen over eastern North Carolina, potentially reaching a central pressure down near 990 millibars. That is no longer the case. It's looking like a fairly weak and broad low, just one of those rainmakers, and that will soak us coming up for tomorrow, predominantly tomorrow afternoon to tomorrow evening. And air temperatures will be holding around their current levels, near the 70-degree mark. Some of us in the upper 60s, others in the low 70s. It is still, again, going to be a breezy weekend, but winds aren't going to be quite as strong as what we had previously forecasted due to the low pressure system, again, not showing the same sort of strength profile by the time it reaches us. Now, Michael Heath, how much rain will Edgecombe County get? Michael, you're still probably on track for about an inch of rain, maybe a little bit less than that, because Edgecombe is a little bit further removed from the coast and say, Craven or Pamlico or even Hyde counties. Those are going to be the areas on the eastern side of Highway 17 that will see rainfall totals between 2 to 3 inches of rain on Saturday. And of course, Onslow, Pender counties, you guys are included in that as well. You guys are also going to be dealing with some of the higher rainfall totals out of this event. But current winds right now generally between around 10 to 20 miles an hour sustained. Here's a look at what winds are going to do over the next few days, hanging out over the northeast for the rest of today into tonight. And wind speeds not really relaxing at all overnight, and then through the day tomorrow we will anticipate winds starting at around 10 to 20 miles an hour sustained, reaching upwards around 15 to 25 miles an hour sustained as those heavier rain showers start to show up. Now, along the coast, we could certainly see some stronger winds out of that system. There you'll see, again, models projecting potentially a 35, 36 mile per hour sustained breeze in Hatteras late Saturday night. Certainly a possibility, but as we head into Sunday, those winds really start to weaken because, again, that low isn't going to continue to get stronger. That was the real danger of is the low going to continue to intensify while it's over eastern North Carolina? That kind of kept Sunday in that danger zone. But this, again, this outlook, certainly going to be windy early Sunday morning. Those winds may still try to stick around for those of you watching closer to I-95 and the Virginia line. But Sunday is looking like certainly a better day than Saturday. Saturday is going to be wet and finish very windy. And then Sunday we're left with broken showers, some lingering winds, but of course nothing that is unheard of for eastern North Carolina. So let's show you how not only it's going to come into eastern North Carolina, but what's actually going to bring about its exit. This is a system that, again, is forming off of a stalled cold front. We're going to need something to kick it out to sea, and that's where that cold front further back towards the northwest comes in. That system, again, is going to do a great job of kind of blocking off that low's path further inland, keeping, again, most of the rain actually off of our coast, and then that cold front will get pushed by that area of high pressure over Arkansas, sweeping it all out into the Atlantic as we head through Monday and Tuesday of next week. Now, really quickly, do want to highlight what we've got going on in the tropics, as we did have another system named last night. Right now, Tropical Storm Jerry is still just that, a tropical storm. Pressure at 1,006 millibars. Maximum sustained winds of 50 miles an hour and an easterly turn once it reaches Bermuda, or at least close to Bermuda, as we head into your Sunday evening to Monday morning. Great news there. We are not going to be feeling impacts from Jerry. We won't be feeling any impacts from Karen as well. Karen right now in the deep northern Atlantic. This is a system that will continue to work its way northward towards Greenland. Do want to at least give it a little recognition that it is a thing, but it is not going to be a thing for eastern North Carolina. For this weekend, again, wet and windy air conditions expected Saturday, tail end of Saturday through your Sunday morning, and then things really start to improve more so Monday and Tuesday than on Sunday. Sunday's still going to be fairly cloudy, but we may actually end up by Sunday evening with maybe a few sun breaks across parts of the east. More sunshine certainly in store for us for your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of next weekend. But again, this weekend is just going to kind of get chalked up as a weather loss due to that coastal low. Well, that's all we have time for today's 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at 3 o'clock. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful day.